What is up, my people? Can't believe it's already a Friday. Time is flying, snow is melting, technology is advancing at the speed of light. My timeline is full of Sora content, examples, reviews, the outrage. It's all kicking off. But something else that's been dominating our feeds, especially in the past 2 weeks, has been everything to do with spatial computing. So, welcome. I'm Ferre, and you're listening to another episode of Artifact Creator Spaces. This is a roundtable on just that, spatial computing. We'll be talking about the potentials of this innovative tech, especially in the creative industry, what tools are currently out there, and what's been some of the coolest use cases so far, etc. So I'd like to open the floor up to all of you guys straight away. This is a fully open discussion. Feel free to chime in whenever. No hands up necessary. Ask the pros of the hard questions or educate us newbies, because I have no idea what I'm talking about. Your voice and input is more than welcome. I got my co-host Cass up on stage with me. What's good, Brody?
We going into space, all the spaces. I hope Dre is in his Apple Vision Pro, commenting and ready to comment on all this stuff. Dre, you in the space, or are we just in the normal sphere with the rest of us?
I'm actually outside and touching grass IRL,
Damn,
avoiding
one.
poop and stuff.
Hey, what's up, boys?
No, but I'm on my
What's
way
up,
back
guys?
to the house, and I definitely am going to jump on then. And then, because it's a difference. When you have them on, it even sounds different when you're on spaces and stuff. And I want to share that with you guys. So I'm on the way.
He's on the way. Whilst we wait for people to come up, let me just explain what spatial computing is, even to the best of my ability, and just break down the different terminology that comes with it. So first up, we have AR, which stands for augmented reality. So you have your reality, the real world, and the augmentation comes as a form of, say, like an overlay onto the physical world. Your sensory experience is enhanced by a layer of digital content. This may be through a phone. Well, more specifically, it has to be a smartphone. Can't be using a Nokia 3210 for this, I'm afraid. You know, everyone's got that special uncle who refuses to get with the times. No, just me. Or specialized AR devices like headsets. These offer a new dimension of interaction, whether it be for education, entertainment, or productivity, etc. Honestly, as I was doing my research, my head almost blew off. So many use cases in so many industries that I didn't even consider. And here I was focused on bloody Pokemon Go or Snapchat filters. Anyway, next we have VR, virtual reality. This is where you dive into a completely digital world and disconnect from reality. You do this through a VR headset. You've got your controllers in your hands, or newly, your hands become the controllers, fully immersed in a simulated environment. So, where you are physically doesn't matter at all. And once again, you can engage with virtual objects and experiences such as games, maybe collaborative activities, visit galleries, all of that good stuff. So, where VR replaces your vision, AR adds to it. But then you have mixed reality, which is MR, and that combines both of those things together. And that, all of that stuff is what spatial computing is, right? So if you want a real, much more professional definition, I'm going to pin a PDF written by an MIT graduate researcher, Simon Greenwald, who actually coined the term in 2003. So feel free to read that. Anyway, we have, let me try and pronounce this, Solzababe.
Yeah,
Hey.
just Salsa Babe. That's my brother's nickname when I was a kid. Hey. Just also MR is definitely correct, but also XR is also a really common term now too, an abbreviation for.
Oh, that was totally my bad. I was
all
just
good. But yeah, XR is also really common. So MR and XR are both like mixed reality kind of. But yeah, there's a lot. It's just like Web3, just like crypto. You guys are going to be hearing a lot of terms.
Yep, absolutely. First, I want to tackle the big elephant in the room. How was the Apple Vision Pro, Dre? Can you talk about it a little bit? Us Europeans, the broke boys, are just sitting here watching you all, a little bit jealous, a little bit happy to not be dropping 3 bags and a bit on a new toy.
Dre has the best AVP fits. That's all I know.
So what's the verdict?
I appreciate it. No, it's honestly it's mind blowing every single time I use it. And I try not to use it before I complete like my daily tasks because it will end up taking so much more of my time. Just because as you dive into it, it's just so immersive with what you can do, and you always learn something new about it. Right? It's like getting a brand new MacBook, and you never had an Apple product before. So it's it's next level. It's hard to describe. I said this before on IRL Alpha. It's hard to describe how it truly is without you experiencing it yourself. Because, we look at things at such a 2D level. Like we look at the photos on our phone of the spatial photos that it takes, and it just don't hit the same unless you fully immersed into the experience of having one on. But it's dope. I honestly, I'm gonna say this. I don't think it's worth the 3,500, right? Like that's just a premium sticker on the same type of vehicle. Like it's like paying for a Mercedes when all you need is a car. Like it's not really worth the money, unless it don't hit you hard to get it. But the experience is definitely worth it once they drop that price tag to a more reasonable place.
Yeah, fully agree. And I think we're approaching like a bit of a inflation point in the field because of the number of advancements that's happened in that field. So like you got like the pixel density, which is, if you have the device really close up to your face, like worn as a headset, the lower resolutions can create more of an eye strain, for example. And the fact that you can have the Vision Pro display have like a 4K on each eye is absolutely bonkers. And I feel like slowly as tech and all of that stuff advances and the price goes lower down, us broker boys will be able to also enjoy it. I'm really, really looking forward to having a go with that, definitely. Cass, have you had any experiences with a VR headset?
Nah, Dre hasn't let me borrow his yet. Something about it. Same thing with Pumpisha. Every time I ask, they're like, I don't know, man. It's not really for you. You gotta wait till the next one. Nah, I'm excited though. I definitely want to try it out. I think I've seen enough cool use cases, like especially um, random things like just having extended screens. Because like right now, I can't attach a second screen to my MacBook, and it's like super annoying because they only give you 2 little ports, and soon they're gonna go like full portless, and you're not gonna be able to get an extended screen unless you have an Apple Vision Pro. And yeah, it's like it's the future. I feel like I just don't know exactly how I'm gonna jump into it yet.
I can see them doing like a Bluetooth thing, honestly, for like like screens become Bluetooth, portless.
That would be sick if I could do that with any screen right now, but
Yeah.
I'd be like
Eventually, I'm talking like
billion.
I can see Apple just being like, "Oh, we've got these new screens, portless," and like I can see them kind of adding in whole new things. Like, "Oh, we got more." But I wanted to throw something. I haven't heard anybody really talk about spatial audio. I would love to have like whenever anybody interested in talking about spatial audio and the future of that. Cass, I was like mostly wanting to talk to you about that, just with your musical background, but because everyone's talking about the graphics, and I want to talk about the audio.
That's why it might. This is maybe Sophie and Dre can chime in, but spatial audio has been out for a while, and I think that's why it's going to be sick with things like this with these headsets because it just gives a reason for people to use it. Because before it's like you're not like it doesn't make sense to have like music feel like it's coming from behind you because that's just kind of creepy in like normal life. But if you're in a immersive setting where there's like I don't know a Travis Scott concert and he jumps behind you all of a sudden like in Fortnite, like you would want the speakers to go that way and you'd want to have people like almost turn around. So I don't know what it's like in there, y'all. Tell me what it's like in the other side.
Facts.
Well, no, it's they had spatial audio for some time, right? Like you said, with the even the AirPod Max, the over the head earphones that Apple has, you
I'm
can
thinking about more like
utilize
Unreal
spatial. Or
Engine 5 and stuff, and then like immersive spaces with spatial audio.
well, no, let me finish
Oh,
what I'm
sorry,
saying.
sorry, sorry,
Let me
sorry.
finish
My
what I'm saying.
apologies,
They got
apologies.
like spatial audio that you can utilize multiple times, right? Like, and with the Vision Pros, they started recording music and video and with like an Atmos, I think they call it, or something else. Like Usher recorded his Super Bowl performance in spatial audio. So once you watch it on the Vision Pros, you can hear it in a different type of range than it normally has with a regular recording. They have like um, this experience on Apple TV with the Vision Pros with Alicia Keys, where she's practicing for her up and coming tour, and everything is recorded in spatial audio, and it has like the spatial visuals as well. So it seems like you're sitting in the studio with her while she's recording or playing through her songs for her upcoming tour. And the way Apple did that was they set up multiple cameras around the room, and she's like moving around the room as she's singing, and it cuts to a different camera, and then you over there by the bass player and the drummers, then you over there by the piano, and it's just a fully immersive experience. So they're gonna start doing concerts on that level, and it's gonna change everything. You know how Apple Music is trying to get into all of that stuff anyway. So it's just a step in the future to see all of this technology be utilized.
That's amazing to hear. Wow, that's enlightening as hell. Thank you for finishing all that. That's crazy. I did not know they had all that. That's so cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say that that music stuff's been out for a while. I think it's just now this is the time people can use it because like that Atmos stuff. There's people who used to do like just weird like EDM kind of productions with it because it would make it sound weird. But
100,
I think
yeah.
Alicia Keys is way cooler.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I just was curious of like some of the use cases that are possible now because like we didn't.
bro, I'm not trying to mute you. I just accidentally keep hitting this button, y'all. I feel like the biggest rookie up here. Jesus Christ.
All good, all good.
We
I'm just
back.
like, yeah, I'm just excited to talk about spatial audio because, like, and hear about some of the use cases because, like, it's finally possible, really, with these devices. Like, it was we have had it for a while, but now it's like we actually have the devices and the physical and hardware now. Like, it was there software wise, and it was there, but it was just like now we actually can experience it, which is exciting to me. Like, so I don't know, I'm geeking out about that.
Yeah, I'm not much of an audio person. Like I still have my Apple headphones that are wired. I'm not gonna lie, but I did recently buy these headphones from Bose, and they do have kind of like spatial audio where I turn my head and then it like concentrates the audio on one side. And that actually did blow my mind. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what the use cases will be outside of what you guys have described. But for the music people in the audience, if you guys can think of anything, please do come up. I'd love to
I was
hear.
talking with my brother and imagining like Pokemon Go, but for music. Like hiding tracks, geolocation pinned around the city, and being able to like announce to your fans, "Go find my music," uh, and people can run around and collect your music. That'd be like some of the coolest interactive experience. And then pre-concert too. Imagine if like somebody was able to like collect 10, and then that gets you like backstage or something. There's a lot of really cool little things you could definitely do down the road. Like this
Well,
isn't
I was
now,
speaking
but
about this. My bad, bro. I
no,
thought you were
no,
done.
go. No, I was sorry. You go.
I was speaking about this yesterday at IRL Alpha as well. Like, if you think about the capabilities of having like a Nike drop, right, where it's Bluetooth enabled, you walk around with your Vision Pros on, and you get to a certain location, like they used to do the shock drops. You get to a certain location, and then you had access to the allocation to purchase whatever product they had stashed, and that's what it's called, the Nike stash. You can use that with sound, right? No matter just it's not just visuals, but have sound, beeping as you get closer, and you know what I mean.
100%.
Like
That'd be
the
fire.
possibilities are
Yeah,
endless
they could do
for.
collaborations with
Yeah,
big
it'll be
song with
stupid
big
though.
like they could do like a big Travis collab, and then like just gets louder and louder. Any really music collab would be crazy.
You know what I mean? And they have certain movies that they shoot using cameras for I don't know what it's called, it's spatial video. I don't know if that's the right term for it, but the Apple TV movie that came out with Leonardo DiCaprio, like Blood on the Wolf Moon, something like that. They built that or created that movie to utilize the Apple Vision Pros as well. So if you watch it, everything is visually stunning and looks almost like 3D, and then has spatial audio. Like it's the full immersive experience for the Apple Vision Pro. So I know the use cases, thinking about it now, 'cause we don't have a lot out there. It kind of seems kind of far out, but if you open your mind to it, you can come up with a lot of opportunities to utilize it.
Yeah, I see we got Sophie Max on stage with us. What's going on? What do you think about all this stuff?
What's up, everybody? Love that we're talking about this. Obviously, big Vision Pro Maxi over here. Haven't taken mine off. I'm obsessed. I don't care about the price. I think that this is the future, and to be able to, experience it and be a first mover in what the future of the like hardware that we're going to be using in the next couple of years looks like is a great privilege. And that's kind of why I've spent so much time in them, like messing around with the eye tracking and anchoring the different like apps and screens to other rooms and spaces is like really some of the more slept on features about this that I heard Dre say it, like you have to experience it to really feel it. And that's why I've been telling everybody, like, go to your local Apple store and get the free demo, because why not? Like, go experience this. And I understand, like, I'm not gonna say like, oh, go buy it, but go experience it, because it's crazy. This is really like the first iteration of where we're headed with hardware, and it's really excited to see. And then there's just like so many synergies if you look at a brand like Artifact and how it's all going to come together, like, AR and trying on things and having all of these virtual assets. It's like we have nothing to deploy it on. You can't, like, think about what you have to do to like rig your clone for, a video call, or to put the dunk colorway that you have on your, physical self through a, AR filter. It's just like there's a lot going on, and it's kind of like what happened with AI, where we've removed the need for so many things, and it's just so much easier to do things now. And that's exactly what this hardware will do. And so, like, the brands that are building for this now already are just that much more ahead. And I don't know, it's exciting. Like, I kind of missed some of the conversation, so like I apologize. Let me know if there's like a specific topic or questions or something that I can help answer here or share from like my own experience. But yeah, I mean, it's super cool, and everybody should definitely go try it out.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. We were just kind of on the general experiences and what people were thinking and where this stuff could go. A lot of opportunities, especially for 3D creators, because it's all right here and happening, like Max just said. So it's cool to think about what could come out of this. We know we got some other dope people. We got some Cam on. I see we got Mika on. Let's go to Cam, and then we'll go to Mika, and we'll come back to you, Souls Babe. Don't worry.
Yo, what's going on? I felt obligated to jump up just because I'm currently trapped in the office working on a Vision Pro and working on some experiences. You guys don't know, I've just done a lot of AR development, been an AR engineer and build products for, I guess, mixed reality stuff for the last like 8 or 9 years now. I used to work at 20th Century Fox, and that's where I started working on the HoloLens device, which was a really, really early version of an AR headset. And working on that device, just like trying AR like that on a headset and pass through, I remember that being a very like magical moment for me where even 8 years ago, I was like, this is going to be such a big part of the future. And it's only a matter of time before it becomes mass adopted and maybe Apple will step in. So it's a really, really exciting and weird time now to actually have Apple have put this headset out. It's like kind of surreal that it's out there and it's finally reached that point. Um, Having used this headset for a short time, for like a week now, I think the thing that really, really stands out about it is this pass through, this high quality pass through, which is for the headset. It can do VR, it can do AR. It's like called spatial computing now. But VR has been done. The Quest is a great headset for VR gaming. And also the new Quest has this pass through which lets you see the real world and mix digital elements into it. But the Apple headset is like 8K, 4K in both eyes, and to be able to do this like really high def augmented reality, I think that's the really exciting opportunity with this headset. And I think that's where you'll see really unique experiences and people who build these experiences that take place in your world. Those will be the ones that stand out on the headset. So if you're thinking about getting a headset, like Sophie said, definitely go try one in a store because just doing a demo like that, it's like such an eye-opening moment. So I'm excited to see people try them, people to have that spark of excitement that leads to all these crazy ideas. And I think this period now that the headsets are finally out there, they're still a little expensive. It's still hard to do development on it. There's a lot of barriers, but it'll be a period where you start to see really, really cool things built. So it's just a matter of time. Exciting, exciting times.
Okay.
Shout out to Cam, man. I want to talk to Cam about all of this stuff too. On the sideline of things, because I know he gets down, man. Cam been doing this stuff, crazy stuff on a regular iPhone for so long. So shout out to you. Another point I wanted to bring up too, since we have Mika up here, is the fashion point of utilizing these headsets. And I know that's kind of far fetched for a lot of people to think about or believe in, but I think it's a wide open pathway for people to utilize these things with fashion. So sorry for taking over your space, but I did want to alley oop it to Mika because she got that thing on lock. What's good, Mika?
What's good, Dre? What's good, Artifact Creators Roundtable Spatial Computing Space? Wouldn't it just be so great if instead of you all being on this block of like just block of whatever that I'm holding in my hand, you were all around me in spatial computing? Wouldn't that just be so fine and so great? Love the conversation. Obviously, this is very exciting to me. Been trying to educate people and propel this forward, and it's all just really beautiful. I know that Artifact too has been doing that. So pioneers, baby, absolute pioneers, and we love to see it. I'll make it quick and short. I just want everybody to understand how bullish spatial computing is, and I think everybody in this room really does. But for the Web3 space, so if you're talking to any friends or like whatever, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is like a piece of tech that sits on your face," ha ha ha. Like, okay, make them understand that this is the best thing that could ever happen to this whole industry because it gives digital assets a purpose, right? Instead of the digital assets being on your monitor, your laptop, whatever, your phone, they will be all around you. And yeah, like everybody gets really caught up with the hardware, they're getting caught up with the price point, which is absolutely hilarious in this space, considering we spend literally thousands of dollars on photos of cats. I know I just did. Anyway, shout out the cats. But but I think that I'm very excited for the next 10 years where I'm going to fix my posture because instead of looking down, I'm going to be looking all around, and that's what makes me really excited. And I want all of you to be hanging out with me in my living room in mixed reality. I miss you guys, and it's pretty much what I got to say.
I had to sit up straight after you said fix your posture. I was like, damn, how long have I been slouching like this? Nah, you nailed it. I'm glad you joined in, Mika. Have you had any experiences that you've tested out that you like on the Apple Vision Pro so far?
Yeah, actually, there's one experience that gets me going, which is it's an app called Particle, and it just like I don't know, it looks like you're just seeing energies. It's like really cool. I'll be honest, I have a lot more to do in the headset. It's just been a little crazy because we're minting like next week, so it's a lot of like what I'm doing is kind of not it's not that I can't do it in the headset. It's just like being realistic that it's going to take me a lot of time to it takes time to get used to the eyes being your cursor, and it takes time to like there's a little bit of a learning curve. I do have a little bit to say. I don't know, I don't want to like hog the mic, but between the comparison between the Meta Quest 3 and the Apple Pro, I could talk about that real quick or not, whatever. But I
Go
have
for
some
it.
things to say. I have something. Okay. Honestly, there's way more to do in the Meta Quest 3. There I said it. There I freaking said it. There's more to do as in experiences in the Meta Quest 3 because Mark Zuckerberg is a social experience genius, right? So he created Facebook. He created literally social media. Like that's Mark Zuckerberg web 2 that like he did that. And in the Meta Quest 3, like I feel like there's I don't know, there's things like VR chat, there's I paint in there. There's a lot of painting apps that are really cool, a lot of zombie games, like a lot of like cool things that I can do in there. However, obviously, like just looking at the hardware between the two, the Meta Quest 3 looks like it's ancient, and the Apple Vision literally looks like what it should look like, right? Because now I'm looking at the Meta Quest 3 and I'm like, oh, like you can't even see the eyes, like you can't even like I don't know, like it's plastic and whatever. But in regards to the two, there is more to do. Like I'm not really sure what to do in my Vision Pro. Like yeah, yeah, it's great for like especially right now I'm in my hotel and like the scenery is just disgusting. It's actually depressing. I'm sorry. I don't know. Whatever. You're probably thinking, where are you? Yes, I don't know where I am. I'm somewhere that I don't like to be. But with the Vision Pro, you can really change your environment and it makes it like just obviously I don't know like look better. I could have like different monitors. Like right now I'm traveling, I don't have like two monitors, so like for that it's great. And I think again it's beta, it's a prototype in a way where it's like okay, this is where we're going. And like the Meta Quest 3 again is the 3, it's the third version of the Meta Quest, so this is the first version of the Apple Pro, so to compare experiences in it is interesting. But yeah, that's what I gotta say. I just feel like there's more to do, and I'm not sure yet what to do in the Apple Vision because I feel like it's more of like, okay, it's really replacing the monitors. And am I ready for it? Yes, but probably in a week from now, if that makes any sense.
That's actually a great point, and I wanted to ask because I've been seeing a lot on the timeline of people saying, "Oh fuck this, I'm gonna refund it. This is not for me. It's not good enough, or whatever." And people are like, "Oh, you're just a broke boy." But I'm trying to understand: is that the case? Is it because of the price point, or is it because there's not enough apps available at the moment, or are those people, not equipped enough brain wise to be able to handle it? What is the situation?
Yeah, I think it's probably because there's just not enough apps. Like it's kind of like okay, probably people are thinking like, what am I going to do in this? And they're just really probably not ready to shift between the having their monitors and then having the like just completely removing them. It's gonna take a second. It's gonna happen really quick, kind of slowly all at once type of vibe. Look, I think like I work in this industry, so I personally am not returning it, and like I need it, and it's great, and I can't wait to play in it more. And I know that they're gonna launch different things, and I think like the whole point is that Apple in June, July, I forget exactly which month, they announced the Apple Vision was gonna come out, that it was a thing. That's when the whole like demo came out, and they were kind of giving people time, especially right now. They're giving devs time to build on it. Like they're letting devs know and people know, hey, this is where we're going. This is what you need to build on. Here's Unity. Go learn it. Go figure it out. It's kind of just like, when the app stores like stuff came out, right? So it's like it's a whole new world, and they're giving devs time to build on it, and that's what this version is for. And a lot of people like don't really get it, but the people that do really can see the vision, and they're definitely in understanding. So people like us, like OD, Artifact, whatever, they see that this is a multi-trillion-dollar industry. I said trillion, not billion, trillion. It's a trillion-dollar industry because you're going to pair mixed reality with AI. Like we just saw OpenAI's huge announcement yesterday, and I don't know about you guys, but it completely it didn't. It's not that it blew me away, but I was like, holy shit, this is really happening. Where if people think that's crazy with the videos coming, to life, like the prompts, just wait until it actually comes to life in your living room. Just wait until you are cooking with Gordon Ramsay. Just wait until you are hanging out with your friends, in your living room, like with the PFPs being able to be powered. Imagine, my clone is powered by AI and could help me be my assistant and just like tell me what the weather's like, right? Like that's the vision with Lulu, and that's like where we're headed. So the people that get it, and the people that don't, and the people that don't get it, they'll catch up. And it's kind of just like, again, the app store boom, like the whole thing. It's a learning curve for a lot of people, but this is where we're going. And if we like to be early, and if we sit here and talk about digital assets all day, it's very embarrassing for the people that sit here and talk about digital assets all day, NFTs, blockchain, etc., whatever, emerging tech. It's very embarrassing to the people that completely dismiss spatial computing. Very, very embarrassing. The fact that not every space is talking about extended reality and actually understanding what spatial computing is embarrassing to me, for my community, for the industry. I'm just like, yo, like, are we going to talk about friend tech for the 15 billionth time until you understand that this is actually like this is where the money's at? Like, if you don't know, like, just, you don't need to be a dev to profit from this space. You just need to be early. Like, it's the same drill, it's the same thing, and this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. So spaces like this are super important. Shout out to Artifact creators. I'm down to come back anytime. We can run some stuff. It's very, very, very important to have these spaces for everybody.
Am I able to touch on the point there that Mika just like killed it? But there was something that I was thinking about at the very beginning when we were saying like, what's the point of this? And like, people don't really know what to do with this tech, so they're returning it and whatnot. And like that's fine. That's always going to happen with new things. People like to try things out and say like their opinion on it. I think it helps the market, if anything, that people are returning it, because it's like, okay, you just like faded the future. That's so fine. We're just that early. People faded the internet. People faded computers. And what I wanted to say on that is that, like, when the phone came out, like smartphones specifically, people were like, I don't need that. Like, I don't need a touch screen. I don't need a phone. All I need are applications. All I need is a phone that's going to call people, because that's what a phone does. So like a lot of people slept on the first couple like iterations of the iPhone solely because they didn't know why they would need a device that did more than call people. And this is kind of the similar, like I see the Vision Pro very similar to that. Like, people don't know that that XR is going to free us from the screens. It's going to place all of this data, these assets, everything around us, so we can be more like physically like tapped in to some extent, and not be so constrained and tied to the like specific phone screen that we have today. But they just don't know that yet, because again, we're just that early. And so it's kind of just like evidence that when people didn't understand the whole phone concept of like, all a phone needs to do is call people, I don't need these apps. And then all these apps came out and they were like, wait, I need this, I need that. And think about like how like the phone, the app store started to grow. That's exactly where we're at now. And that's exactly like, again, what Mika was just saying with like the devs are building right now. And so if you don't understand the use case yet, it's fine, because it's all coming. And I mean, Cam, you're like a perfect use case here. Like, you're literally building for it right now, so I'm sure you have some more insight there. But I just think everything needs to be like we need to look at it as a bigger picture here. And like, spatial computing, XR, all of this is going to free us and make our lives easier. It's just the learning curve right now, and that we don't see necessarily the value today, unless you're someone like me, someone like Artifact, anyone who's been building with this tech for so long, and we finally have a device to be able to deploy it on. So if you haven't been dreaming of a hardware like this, yeah, it doesn't make sense today, but just wait until now that all those dreamers and doers and devs can start building for this tech, building for this hardware, for everyone to see, what the vision really is.
Yeah, my insight as a developer and as a builder is probably a spicy take, but like everyone said, there's not a ton of apps out right now for it. And if you're looking for gaming content, the Quest headset, it's a gaming headset, and this is the Apple one. It's like a productivity and film and television viewing experience. But the developers have like just gotten access to it. Like everyone's getting access to it the same as like the consumers are. So there's not like great games or a killer app out yet. But if you're someone that's looking to like get an early advantage and build something really cool for the future and take advantage of being early to this, then it's worth buying. But as like a user consumer, I would I wouldn't if you haven't already bought it, I wouldn't rush to do it, honestly. But if you've already bought it, I wouldn't return it. But that's just my level-headed take.
NFA people, NFA, Souls Babe.
Mind if I
I
jump
Yes,
think
go
in?
ahead.
everyone should.
Yeah.
Here's financial advice really quick, and I do have to hop off. But Dre, thank you for summoning me. But financial advice is going to the Apple Store and doing a demo. It's free. You don't need to buy it 100%, but you do need to experience it. I don't think anybody that has a PFP, like a NFT, should go any day longer without experiencing spatial computing. Find your local app store, Apple Store, and go experience that. Schedule a demo. It is free, and you need to see the experience. It's going to make you super bullish, and you need to understand this, and you know, knowledge is power, so definitely stay tapped in. I really appreciate you guys. I gotta hop off, but y'all are the goats, and let's do this again, because it feels good to talk to cool people about this. You know, we out here. All right, bye, much love. Thank you, Dre. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Cass.
Thanks, Mika, for jumping in.
All right. Just make my quick point. I disagree with Max about this freeing you from screens, considering you're putting an 4K screen on your face. I'm just going to make the point about Lightfield Labs is the only company that I'm aware of that is building for the next generation after AR and mixed VR. So not having screens at all, casting millions of light fields and light particles to create the image instead of using screens. Just to let you aware of that. That's about 10 to 20 years from now. I've been building for XR for about 5 years. But Lightfield Labs is going to be the next wave. Just let you know that.
Sorry, can you tell us a little bit more about what you just said?
Yeah, sure. So, Lightfield Labs is basically trying to create, and Jules Verbuck and a toy are basically. Are you familiar with that thing in Star Trek where they walk in and they can just basically create a reality around them? I forget the name of it at the moment. Somebody could remind me.
It's like a hollow room or something.
But
Yeah.
Yeah, the HoloLens or Hollow Room or whatever it's called. Yeah, they're basically trying to create that, but for the reality. So they're trying to basically just jump over screens altogether. It's basically like the third world just jumping over landlines and going to smartphones. Yeah, so that's the actual next wave after this. But yeah.
Interesting. I actually wanted to talk about the actual physical, what's it called? The headgear.
The hardware.
Max and Dre, you guys, and Cam, you guys have used it. How does it feel on? Is it heavy? Is it comfortable? Do you get motion sickness?
Let me explain this here, because Dre is built different, you know.
He's got the muscles to hold up.
Yeah, there's a bias there. I wore this. Mika and I both wore this. Like, you know, we're maybe on the rather smaller side of things, and we wore the Vision Pro on a hike for like 2 hours, and I honestly, going into the hike, was like, yeah, no, this is just not gonna work. Like, even the first day I got mine, I was so upset by the way it was like fitting. It felt uncomfortable. I was like, this is too heavy. It's gonna be a problem. You honestly adjust to it really quickly. And yeah, the hike was completely fine. Like, it only started bothering me at the very, very end, like halfway down, just maybe because of the like pressure of like going down against gravity. But other than that, it honestly is like so much lighter and more comfortable than I think most people are aware. And there's a trillion sizes. Like there's over 30 different sizes, and so it really is like a custom fit. And they're pretty they build it for you in the store, in the Apple store. So like if you feel like like, oh, it's leaning on my like forehead too much or my nose too much, like they make sure it fits well, and there's a couple of different straps as well. So like it's much more comfortable than I expected, especially on day one. I was like, this is not going to work. Going into the hike, I was like, I'm going to take this off after 20 minutes. But now I'm really like, I wore it in the airport yesterday, I wore it on the plane, and now I'm kind of realizing like you definitely adapt to it. It's kind of like when you get like a new phone, it's a little bit heavier or different size, and you're like, oh, I hate it. But you definitely adjust to it, and I think it's a little bit less intimidating after like the first week or two of wear. But definitely, again, like go try it in store, and you'll be able to see it for yourself. But I'm excited for it definitely to continue getting lighter and smaller, like every other Apple product that we've seen to date. Like I honestly, I think about like growing up, the computer room, and we went to the room that was like filled with computers, and now we have it on our eyes. Like it's this is the first iteration of it, and everything in tech will, especially hardware wise, gets smaller, faster, cheaper, quicker, like all of that. And so it's just like, again, keep in mind first iteration, but it's not as like heavy or kind of like harsh as I think most people probably assume.
Sick. Good to hear from a small person, fellow small person. Cam, what about
Yeah,
you?
I think I was gonna say it's like without a doubt the comfiest headset that I've worn. Like Apple does such a good job with their physical products, and it just feels like a luxurious piece of headwear. So as far as like headsets go, it's super comfy. You should try it on to see for yourself. I think for me, I've always I've always disliked VR just because I get nauseous and like car sick really easily. So I think for me, wearing headsets, I'm still like slightly adverse to that. So that's where the discomfort is that even though it's like an AR headset still, you still have two screens pressed to your eyes that are like playing a video playback of what the cameras see. So I don't know, I haven't used it for prolonged periods of time, but I think that's the part that would stop me from using it. I don't know. So for Dre, if you guys have experienced, if you feel like the quality of like the pass through and walking around with it is so high that you don't even notice it now, or if you notice that it's so straining on the eyes.
I think
Question mark?
Dre has
Question.
dropped down. Max, what about you?
They're so their eyes are so strained that they can't even respond.
I mean, this was Cam. Yeah, no, this is my point for the Layfield Labs. Is there's a lot of people who really just don't like the eyewear and the screens. So I don't know if you'd be interested in checking out that company, but what they're building is really cool because basically allows you to not have to even wear a screen, which is dope.
Ooh.
So that's probably what 10 to 20. Yeah, I think Jules projected about 10 to 20 years. Let's go.
Yeah, I gotta check it for sure. I think like one of the really cool use cases that of this headset that you can do with this pass through and with AR that I think a lot of people don't think about necessarily is from like a cinematography and filmmaking perspective. One thing that gets brought up in my work a lot is doing like previs for when you're trying to film a movie or film a short. The AR headset, it's a really cool device because you can bring in all these like 3D CG graphics and place them around your scene. So a really fun use case is you can have like directors go in and see these VFX graphics placed in a physical set and sort of map out your shots with this augmented reality headset. And it's been done in VR before, but I think AR headsets let you actually blend like CG characters with a physical location. Um, and it's really low cost once you get the headset. I think with all the OpenAI stuff that came out yesterday, you just see this democratization of creativity, and I think that this headset is another piece of that. Is that it's just a tool to be able to create your ideas more easily. So that's another exciting use case I think doesn't get as talked about as some of these other things.
Big time, yeah. So the term for that is virtual production,
Yep.
by the way.
I've been doing it in Unreal, but I haven't
My
done
God, good man.
anything with the headset yet. But yeah, virtual production, super cool.
Game changing, absolutely game changing.
So let's talk about the different use cases actually, because one of the ones that impressed me the most as a Lego fan is the one where you get to point your camera at a bunch of Lego and then you can just build, it gives you the instructions and then you can build something out of it. I would like the same thing to happen for the ingredients in my fridge. Unless that already exists, somebody correct me. I want to point my camera into my fridge and it will say, oh, you can make lasagna today, believe it or not. And I was like, how? I didn't know that I had the ingredients for a lasagna. So what do you guys think? What would you guys like to see in the future?
Fair, you don't have YouTube? You can tell
I
us in
have
your fridge?
Yobs, Cass. He's the chef.
I'm sounding like an old person, but man, we're at the point where we can't even open our fridge to know what to make. Damn.
Yeah, but you need to input those ingredients and then it will tell you, like, okay, this is what you can make. But I want it to pick out those ingredients by itself. See, Anya Lasagna stepped up. Anya.
Yeah, Cass, don't act like
Application
Lasagna
thing.
Simulator wouldn't absolutely slap.
Like I would love for XR to completely combat fast fashion and replace your need for buying multiple pairs of the same outfits and the same shirt, because you can just slap whatever the fuck you want on top. Sorry for swearing, but I would love for it just to completely destroy Zara, H&M, and all these fast fashion companies that are destroying the planet. Sorry, I'm just really environmental. So that's my biggest hope. And we can walk around as our clones too, all day, every day. Let's go.
I think a lot of people don't understand that like fashion point, because they think that buying fashion, like fast fashion, and supporting that whole environment is just like how we go about life, and they don't realize the impacts of like the one, sustainability, like consumerism, and just like where we are with it. We don't care about any of our clothing, and that's personally why I'm so invested into like AR and digital fashion, and have been working in this space for a couple of years now, specifically at this, just because I came from the traditional fashion space, and it's really upsetting. It's hard to like be a part of it if you do care about these things. And so with like specifically having I don't know, like look at Artifact, for instance. It's like you have these digital pieces of clothing, but yet we can't wear them yet. So you can use like AR or something like that. That's what we're used to. But like looking ahead, the way I see it is 100% you're not going to every single fashion brand today is already doing this, but it's going to be even more amplified as the tech gets there, because you're going to be able to walk on the street and you'll be wearing, like a black t-shirt and black pants, or like a really cool product that you care about because it has XR to it, and you'll be able to interchange like the print on the shirt or the fabric design that you're wearing. You've seen like some of the like concepts and stuff that like Artifact has posted, or at least like the founders have posted, with like changing the color of the swoosh and like all these things, and that's all leaning toward this shift in the way that we embrace fashion, because it's like you're going from having to buy multiple pairs of physical stuff or multiple things, or as clothing like gets produced, the quality is going down, so you need to buy more. But if you just buy one high quality piece that's, let's say, is like XR activated, you'll be able to interchange that and have like multiple outfits or existences of that one piece of clothing, which is going to make it like matter so much more to you. And that's a lot of what I've been doing with like on-chain fashion and NFC stuff, because people won't get rid of it as quickly if they know they have the digital provenance to it. If you're able to also wear it in gaming, if it's the hoodie or the garment means like a lot to you when it has multiple kind of like, I don't want to say utility, but like different use cases to it, other than just the one physical form and the way that it is. And especially with like co-creation and looking ahead at like how fashion brands are acting today, they want to bring more people into it, and it's really hard to bring people into creative processes for fashion houses. But it's not as challenging when they're doing it in a digital realm, where the company just has to produce, let's say, like one physical, and everybody's able to co-create off of that in a digital realm. And that's definitely like the way that a lot of these fashion brands are headed. And then even with like sizing and all of that, the tech is getting there to the point that we won't need to fill retail stores with all of the like showrooms. And the way that fashion works, it's like they have to produce an entire collection before they even know if they're going to be able to sell one garment of it. And that is just like really really bad for the environment, as you probably can assume. And so being able to do all of that digitally, selling products digitally before producing anything, look at kind of like what Artifact has done in the past with selling an NFT, and then you claim it for the physical. It's like that is so much more sustainable because they only produce what's needed, and they only produce in the size for the exact like customers that they already have. And it just really improves like a lot of that. And then it'll just continue to build off of that with like the way we shop, the way we create, the way we see each other when we're walking on the streets, and like portray our clone wearing our this garment and this set of shoes, and how we can change all of the designs of that in the digital realm too. So I don't know, I get really excited about a lot of the possibilities with XR and any kind of like fashion related initiatives.
You're spitting facts. Barry, you were about to say something?
No, I was literally going to say the same thing, like bars after bars. Really, really impressed with all of your takes today, guys. We have Anya Lasagna up on stage. How's it going?
Oh, very well. I was gonna just come up and, I do not currently own a Vision Pro yet. I've looked into it. My husband has been trying to fit it into the budget for work because he's trying to get his hands on it to kind of experiment. And honestly, I will say that I showed my kids the whole experience, especially my 9-year-old. She's about to turn 10. She's in 4th grade, and she has like an artistic eye. And so, one of the things that she had said to me was that she was saying that she'd love it if, a Vision Pro could walk her through painting something very like complicated, where it gives you like the brush strokes and it tells you like what the next thing is that you need to do. And we even talked about it, like telling her like how to clean her room, which is, I love that. That's like totally a 9-year-old thing, where she's like, I just wanted to tell me what the next step is so I don't get distracted and then I wander away and then I don't finish the task. And which her and me, we share spicy brains, we've got the ADHD going, so I totally get that. And I love that about it. I think in a artistic setting, in a creator setting, it would be nice that even from like the Vision Pro perspective, because I know that a lot of the creators now, the devs and everything, have been third party anyway, have been just now getting access to it, the same as the public. And so we have yet to see really some of the power that the Vision Pro can kind of have in other industries. And even from the creator side, I think we're going to really see an explosion of different applications and programs and things that are going to be created out of the ability to use the Vision Pro, with different perspectives and things. And honestly, because I used to work for Apple, and that was kind of the same thing what happened with like the iPad, and which it came out and people were like, "This is stupid. There's no reason for this. We already have the iPhones. There really isn't like a need." It was very much just like a toy, and everyone deemed it like absolutely unnecessary. And the amount of people that would come in and be like, tell me what this does, like show me why I need this for my life. Like, we'd have these in-depth conversations, and also classes. So I used to teach a lot of the creator classes and things, and a lot of the times people were, they would come in and they would get the whole perspective of like, here's what you can do with this, and here's how it's different from some of the other types of devices, and these are the ways that it could impact your life. If this benefits you in this particular area, you may find this more useful or differently useful than a phone or than a desktop computer. And I believe that we're very much in that bubble currently where the iPad experience, it's that people are like, why do I need, explain to me in very vast detail why I need this. And the minute that they get to something in the, the check marks of like what, how this could benefit your life, as soon as they hit something where it doesn't, benefit them or it doesn't apply to them, they say, nope, I'm not gonna, it's okay, it doesn't 100% apply to me, therefore I don't need it. But I think that once we see more of these like very detailed, open-ended, and possibilities really shined on because of this, like and because of all the creators and devs that get their hands on it and are like, I can use it for this and that, and look at my thing that I just created, people are gonna be like, whoa, I need it. And maybe we even get to a point where maybe version 2 or version 3 of this particular technology becomes better for the masses, like at play, where maybe the glasses get smaller, and maybe they're more comfortable, they're lighter. I think it was Mika that was saying that was kind of heavy on the hike. And so I think that down the road we're going to see a lot of improvements. Right now we're seeing very real-time experimentation with the current technology, and as we get closer and closer to more people adopting this particular part of the tech, they're going to see changes in it. And I think I talked to Bad Take Crew about like this, but we're such in early stages of this that the next round of improvements are going to be significant, not only in the Apple umbrella, but also in other companies that have already created this tech and have their own versions of it. You better believe that these other companies all have the Vision Pros and are like, okay, how is this different from what we have? How can we improve? What do we love about this that we can apply to our own current technology? And so because of that, competition is healthy. And in this regard, the technology is just inevitably going to get better and more user friendly, and and easily adoptable by both young and old. And I think the only really big thing here is that we just need time. We need time to be able to experiment and be able to see more people use it. And it's like a global brainstorm that, that everyone's having with the technology. And so really incredible to see. Honestly, I'm very excited for it personally. I definitely in my weekly, no, I'm gonna say my monthly budget, I just tried to sneak the Vision Pro in there and slipped it to my husband and was like, just kind of a little bit more expensive this month on the budget. I don't know why. And he's like, we're not getting it for our personal, like maybe for work, but definitely not a household item. So not yet. Anyway, I'll get it. Eventually I'll get it. So I'm going to have to rack up those brownie points or something. And so, but really excited for this technology. And I definitely encourage, as others have, if you have not gone to the Apple Store, go get an appointment. It's so easy. They literally sit down one-on-one with you. It's one person in the Apple Store sitting with you at the table, and you put the glasses on together and they talk you through it. Like it's like this beautiful little intimate moment. It's so nice. It's so good. Go do it if you haven't already.
I don't have an Apple Store in my city, Anya.
No. Make it a weekend trip. Make it a
Yes,
weekend trip and go to the next.
Okay.
Go to the next
Will
thing.
do.
Go.
Will do. But I'm extremely excited about some of the things you said. Yes, like what I'm actually hoping for with Khan Academy, what they're building with AI educational assistants, as well as what I would hope to see with like Aku and Aku Towers and what Micah Johnson's building, would be like a pairing of like a characterized AI education assistant. Because like basically the story of Aku is like his nephew not seeing enough African American astronauts, and not believing that he could be one. And basically that's why Maiko created Aku, which is to me a beautiful story. But like it would be, and like the intention of Aku is to then inspire a bunch of kids, the next generation of kids, to be interested in science and physics and space and being whatever they want to be. So it would just be really cool to me as a spatial learner and like just a visual learner to then like or just like the next generation of kids to be able to explore like space and learn and from a trusted like educational assistant in their free time. And as a kid, I would have been so stoked to learn from a cartoon, just personally. So
Hell yeah.
that was my
Solza, did you mention something about Khan Academy?
Yeah, so they're building AI education assistants. So what I'm imagining with that, imagining like overpacked classrooms. A student isn't getting the attention that they need, so they're like really they need to ask, let's say, 5 questions, but they were only able to get 1 in that during that class session. I'm imagining like education assistants could be very helpful in that case, where they could like get some a little extra assistance if they're in like not getting the attention they need as a student. Both my parents are teachers, so it's a big push there. But yeah, no, it would just be really cool to me for all the individuals and children who get like overlooked, or especially with somebody with a learning disability too. There's a lot of little aspects that as well as anybody who is English is their second language. Having a little AI education assistant, just even specifically for like helping you with words in real time, so you're not having to like translate as fast, and like because you sometimes, especially when you're early days, you're doing like double the work. You're learning English and you're learning like physics or science or blah like math, and it's like it's a little bit more of an uphill battle. So if you were able to like get a little help with that from just an assistant, that would be, in my mind, very powerful.
It would be, wouldn't it be incredible
Yeah.
if you put the glasses on and you walked through a room and then you just got to see like what each of the items, walking around your own home, like were called if you were learning another language. Like if I wanted to learn Spanish in real time, they always say that you learn a language when you're surrounded by it, right? Like if you were just walking around and like you get both visual and auditory like
Audio too, that'd be great.
Yes,
Yeah.
like because then you're getting like the real time, like, oh, this is how I pronounce it in my ear, instead of you're getting the word and then you're having to like click on it multiple times, like, how do I pronounce this word so I say it right and I don't sound like
Yes,
a goof.
100%.
So brilliant.
100%. And the AI will be so much better too, because it won't like it. They probably like a few years ago, I'm sure, mispronounced words too because they're so robotic. But now they'll actually probably have like the proper pronunciation and say it with like a little bit of energy, a little bit of tonality. Would get you a little like get some energy behind it. So like it'll give you more interest. Like just for me, like as a like man, if I had a visual learning aspect like this, like being able to actually see like space and go into like see the distance between things geographically, or learn about geography, like be able to actually see the distances between things and be like, whoa, okay, so that's how small that place is. Like, whoa. Especially living in Canada, oh my gosh, going to some countries, it really blows your mind just how much space we have. Like I remember going to Israel and just like being like, oh my goodness, like this like if it's in Vancouver Island, like multiple times.
Cam, let's work on that.
Yeah, sorry. Oh, is anyone familiar with Hive Mapper?
Wait, am I talking? Can anybody hear
Decentralized.
me, or am I just talking to myself?
Yeah, I can hear you, Jay.
Damn, I will say this, bro. We talking about these Apple Vision Pros. They suck for Twitter, bro. This shit's
for Twitter.
man,
You think?
it's
Wait, Dre, why do you think that?
because
love
it's been
it for Twitter.
terrible. You see how many times I jumped out and came back in and jumped out and came back in and jumped out and came back.
Interesting.
This website.
Maybe you gotta refresh.
Okay, use Safari. Use it on Safari as opposed to the app.
Yes.
No, that's what I'm using on Safari. They don't have the Twitter app for.
Wait, yeah, they do. You can download. What? You can download the. So okay, yeah. If you, but you can't. You do it on Spaces. So that's probably why there's the Spaces. I mean, the Twitter app on iPad is integrated. You can get it on Vision Pro, but it's like the iPad model, which doesn't allow you to join Space. It doesn't have like Spaces integrated, but all the other stuff, like I use it. I like the DMs on there, like on the Twitter app in Vision Pro. But if you're gonna go on Spaces on Vision Pro, then yeah, you
Yeah,
have to do it through
that's
Safari. Yeah.
that's what I was referring to. Going on
Have you ever?
Spaces on Safari sucks. Big.
True.
Well, yeah, Cam. Let's jump on this idea that Anya and the homies are throwing out. That's a great idea. We should do that.
Yeah, I
have
wish
you
I
have either
wish
of you guys fat fingered with eyes? Sorry,
No, you
just
can't.
curious if
You
anyone
can't.
fat fingered with eyes yet. You can't. You
Yeah,
can't.
yeah, but I
I like it.
definitely
I like that.
look at, you know, when you, like, for me, I do a lot of writing.
Sorry, Cam.
Oh
Sorry,
yeah,
Cam.
sorry, someone else talking.
no, you're
Okay,
good.
Cam
You're
was
well,
good.
talking.
really,
I was just gonna say I
oh,
wish Harlan was here because I think he worked on a similar like real time translation app for Google when he was at Google. So there's
That's
some cool
crazy.
things you can do now that you have cameras too that can literally translate the words on a building
Oh
and
yes, so much.
Oh
AI audio. So
yes.
yeah,
You
I
know,
was gonna
Cam, when we was in Tokyo, that's what I
yeah,
was
the
doing the
sirens. That's
entire
what I was
time
thinking
using the
with
train.
camera,
Yes.
the camera app. That's what I was
Yes.
thinking too. I'll say Twitter may suck on the Vision Pro, but the microphone you got on there is looking sounding good, man.
Yeah, that's what everybody said. I appreciate that. That was another
Yeah.
idea I was thinking about too. Is using my man came through with the best signal. That was fire.
He
Another
couldn't
thing,
wait.
using it like a recording, you know what I mean, like a recording studio app, because a lot of people out there, like up and coming artists, they have like home studios that they build with their MacBook and buy a microphone, and they got to buy this and that just to be able to do their thing. They can get one of these, get an app, and get it popping and be a superstar next week. So there's another idea, Cam, that we can work on.
Ooh.
Let's keep that between you and I. This is an NDA. Nobody
Yeah,
else can use that. Came up with right now. That's me.
there you
You're
go,
you know,
ridiculous.
trademark that.
I I gotta jump off. I gotta get back to work. The last
I
piece of
got friends working
advice,
on stuff like
the
that.
last piece of advice I'll give everyone is if you're going to the Apple store, just make sure to make a reservation, or else they treat you like a second-class citizen.
Why is that so true?
That's actually
That's so
hilarious.
bad.
That's
That's a
hilarious.
fact. No, I wanted to speak on the
I love the
weight.
way Apple
We were
works.
talking about the weight. I was trying to jump in the conversation back when you guys were asking about how heavy it is. And Max hit it on the head. I do have that network. I've been working on this network for quite some time, but we won't go into that. But it is heavy, man. Like it does get to a certain point where you just like, all right, I want to take this thing off, you know. But you get used to it. Like Max said, you'll wear it and you're like, at first you're like, oh, I don't know about this, and then you're like, all right, you know what, this works.
Just working on those neck
Yeah,
muscles,
I mean,
Just
just
working on those neck
just practice
muscles,
however you practice to get your neck muscles built up. We won't go into the details, but we all adults here. And another situation is, I used to get really nauseous when it came to other AR and VR headsets, like extremely nauseous. Like I had the Meta Quest 2, I think, and I've used it maybe one time because it used to just make me feel disgusting every time I put it on. But with this, I can walk around with it. I haven't gone on any hikes or anything like that, but I wear it to IRL Alpha every time I go. I wear it around the crib. I actually was taking pictures of my Tesla because I plan on selling it. And I took the pictures in the video with the Apple Vision Pro to give people that full immersive experience. So you can wear it and it doesn't give me that feeling of nausea because of the pass through. Maybe that's what helps.
I'm curious about actually that filming aspect. Like, so you can could you just be filming anybody now
Yeah.
without them
Yep.
knowing? Yeah, so I kind of want to bring that up as a conversation, even maybe here, of like, how do you guys think that's gonna go now? Because do you guys remember like people used to get real worked up when people would just be like videoing some stuff and they'd be like, "Are you videoing me?" Like, and you have your camera up, but now people like we're gonna be walking around. That's gonna be happening 24/7, and people aren't even gonna be knowing. Like, you're gonna be like, you could literally be having a convo with someone and recording
Well,
them, and they wouldn't even like be aware.
visually,
So I want to kind of like talk about that a bit.
visually, the Apple Vision Pros, they actually notify you because of the way that it is on the screen that you can see from the outside. It does have like kind of like a heartbeat type of visual that's letting you know. And I don't, man, if you watch the video in depth of the whole walkthrough of the Vision Pro, that was one of the things that I think that people will miss if they don't really dive into the like
Oh,
complete
totally.
facts. Um, where like you
Yeah,
can.
but think about all the people who just don't even know that feature, though.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
there'd be people who don't even have a Vision Pro yet, and then don't even know that that's the reason it's heart beating is because it's recording. Like, they wouldn't even know, maybe. And it's like, I'm just wondering about the next generation of consensual recording of individuals.
Well, I don't think it's any
like,
different from people walking around with the MetaQuest Ray-Bans on,
No,
right?
exactly. It's true. It is true. No. It's the exact. No. It is the exact same. So I'm curious about that evolution of conversation. Like, just curious. Some people are gonna probably have some really hardcore reactions. Probably. Like, I wouldn't care personally, but like, I'm just thinking about, like, I've seen some people in the past just get really upset about, like, being
Well,
recorded,
that
or
doesn't
like you got
matter
your
because
camera
like you
up.
get recorded right now if you're outside in the streets, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Oh, 100%, 100%. No. You can't. No. Yeah, no. There is nothing, but there is people who just don't even think that deeply, and then just get really upset, and then get worked up. So I'm just curious about, like, maybe some of the possible reactions that you're gonna see on that. I don't know.
Well, do you really
It's
own
just
your image?
something that I'm curious about. Hey, no, see, that's a good question. That's a good. That's a
I
good
mean,
question. I mean,
if
we're
we,
getting into that topic now.
we were created
Like,
in
we're getting
God's
into that with
likeness,
Hollywood too,
but if we're all
actually.
gods, like I technically own your image too, then, right? We're not gonna get there. I'm just saying.
We're getting deep. We're
Don't
getting
It's
deep.
steal
We're
my
getting
it's
deep.
IP, J actor.
existential.
The fuck?
We're getting real deep in
Hey,
this
Day
one.
After, if you own my image too, can you make me a fire ass intro like yours then, since we both are sharing the same image and likeliness? You know what I'm saying?
For sure. That'd be fire, actually. But imagine trying to learn a new language, and then with Duolingo, and this the Duolingo AR like companion, and he starts beating you up for not studying or pronunciating it right. Like that's my biggest fear. The Duolingo AR companion.
Speaking of AR companions, what would be fire is we know that Artifact is doing stuff with NVIDIA and the possibilities that come along with that. That's something that people, I don't think, really are speaking about. Max, you made a great point about the fashion situation. We were talking about that yesterday at IRL Alpha. Just being able to utilize the Vision Pro to see someone have a different type of approach to fashion, including their digital fashion or their digital identity as well. It's just, it's a lot to go along with it. But like she said, like Max said, like Ian said, this is the very, very, very beginning of all of this, and it feels like that very much so. For it to be as technologically advanced as it is, it definitely feels like the first iteration of a product. So that's something to keep in mind as well.
Yeah, and speaking of
100.
AR
Yeah,
companions,
everyone.
right? We also got Lulu coming out next week, which will have a lot of those capabilities baked in, I'm assuming, because we have an app that we're gonna be able to use from the jump, and who knows what the app can do. But judging from what has been done before and pushing like the Instagram filters to the next level, I'm expecting like some real use cases, and it'll be exciting to see how it translates and through the Quest 3, Quest 2, Apple Vision Pros, or even your iPhone.
Sorry, I don't know if you guys saw my or heard my alarm. It's because we've gone over the hour. I'm trying to get your attention. Well, I would say maybe let's go for another 15 minutes. Don't mean to be a killjoy, but got some things to do, man. So, Jace.
I got a great time here.
Okay, thank you so much for joining the conversation and for all your input. It was great to hear, and hopefully see you another time as well. Jace, my guy, how you doing?
I'm doing awesome. I was gonna chime in during that videoing part and then also the AI companion part, but everybody else had epic things to say. So then I was like, shoot, I jumped up, but I didn't really need to. But I should have hit Dre up for those Vision Pros when I had a chance to, and I missed the boat.
I heard Dre doesn't share, so it would have been pointless anyway.
I don't know. I hear that Dre shares a whole lot, but that's another story.
100%. Like Jace was the first person I hit up. I was like, "Yo, I got an extra one. What's good, bro? You want it?" And here we are.
Well, actually, Jason, let me throw a question to you. So you are a YouTuber, a very successful one with your family and whatnot. How do you see AR, VR, spatial computing benefiting what you're doing, your line of work?
As soon as I can have AI create I was working on trying to figure out a way to animate our family so that we could kind of step away from being in front of the cameras and turn it into an animated show. As soon as I can have AI reproduce our voices in a good enough way and I can have it create the scripting, peace out. That the channel will keep going, but we will not have to be on it anymore. If we can get the storylines and everything good, it can do our voices. I will have that all animated, and then I will wait until AI is good enough with the video to then have that go on, and we will just have, the magic school bus family that will go on forever, and we will be nowhere near it. So I know everyone else is afraid of it, but I'm like, here's when we use this.
Oh my god, Jace is just dying for that moment where he can just tap out. Jace, are you not scared of this technology?
I mean, not if you can try to get as in front of it as you can, right? If I can get out there and put our images and I can own them and I can do all that, then no. Like we have a service right now that when anybody copies our YouTube videos and puts them on their own channels to try to get views, we have a service that goes out there, copyrights them. We get all the income from the videos of ours that they're posting on their own channels. So it's going to be a lot of that kind of stuff that's going down. Whereas people will use some of your music, but you'll now have an AI companion that can go out, scour everything. Like if anybody uses any of Cass's music out there, this companion can go out, find it, throw the copyright on it, and he won't need to pay another company. He'll be able to create something, or at least pay a company that has created something that can do that, that can go and find our face all over the place, find the AI variants of us that are all over the place, and start knocking them down.
I mean,
In my small
yeah, like
vision.
your iPhone already like recognizes faces. Like if you go to your camera app and you go to the search, it pops up with people, and you can even name the people that you see there. And then next time you search your gallery with that person's name, it pops up all the images, even in video. So that's crazy. And then too, like, who knows? Maybe that's already happening in the back end, and we don't really know it, like on a public service level.
Yo, that search is actually crazy because you can search for things other than faces and names and writings. You can search for like dog, plant. When I first found that out, it actually freaked me out. But yeah, day after, how do you see yourself as a producer? Or I mean, you're multi-talented, so I don't even know what to ask you, but how do you see yourself being able to benefit from the developments of AR and VR?
Yeah, one of the coolest thing I saw was using it as a way to learn like music theory or like learning how to play the piano. Funny enough, Alone was so against it. It's like, nah, man, that's BS. People should learn how to play piano the correct way. That's not real art. That's not real way to learn. I'm like, yo, but like if this can help me learn to C scale properly and I could eventually get muscle memory, then I think this is great. Because at the end of the day, what you're practicing for is muscle memory, right? Because now you'll be able to just play with your feels and emotions. But until you could get muscle memory of where the keys are and what scale you're in, uh, I know I'll be struggling. I have been for a couple of years. But I think that's one of the dopest things right now that's out in terms of like use cases. But then also as a creator, right? Like being able to work on something in 3D and then see it right there through the USD Z file is dope because then you can adjust the textures or whatever you need to. So the use cases are great. It's just a matter of getting those applications and abilities ready and user friendly for everybody to enjoy.
So a lone architect is that uncle that I was talking about earlier.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm joking. What else did I want to speak about? Cass, did you have anything that you wanted to say about this topic?
I'm with Alone. I think everybody's got to go back to the 1800s way of learning, where you get an old teacher who whips you with a cane if you do anything wrong, and you have to learn by candlelight. Because if not.
Bro, that was
Guys.
1986,
Yeah.
bro. That's what I went through.
Sorry, we'll just go to 1986 according to Jace.
See, for Jace, like, how would you, since you're a person that constantly touches grass and then are in the outdoors, how can you see like being immersed in this future world? Like, how would you find the balance for being connected to this internet metaverse world and being able to be outside touching grass?
Can I sit in the middle of a Scottish farm while wearing my Vision Pros? Is that allowed? Because that's where I'm gonna be, man. I'm gonna be sitting in the middle of a farm, just close enough to the house that I've got Wi-Fi, and then I'll be putting these on. I think that's no, but for real though, with so many other things, with assistants and all these things, like I think that's one thing people ask our family all the time, like, wait, everyone has social media accounts, everyone's active, everyone's doing all that, but you know what do you guys do all day? I'm like, oh man, our kids get a limited amount of time online, and the rest of it is spent on grass, as you'd say. And so it's really hard actually to find a balance between those. And it's only going to get harder. But man, I need to literally touch grass, like barefoot, go out, stand on it, connect to the earth. That is a huge thing for my wife, me, our kids, because we are online. I mean, we've been uploading YouTube videos for almost a decade as a family now. And so we need that grass under our toes. We need dirt in between the fingernails. So it's going to get harder and harder.
Or easier and easier, right? As a benefit, like the fact that this has
That's true.
like the pass through, like go on Dre Millie's page. Like there's videos of him at IRL Alpha literally interacting with like Twitter and other stuff. So in a way, like you would be able to touch grass, be immersed in reality, while also getting things done digitally. So then you could potentially spend, the rest of the family time, quality time.
I hate to be Killjoy Fairy.
How dare you?
Killjoy Fairy strikes again. But I want to talk about the negative impacts of spatial computing potentially. Because me personally, I have the Oculus 2 and I get motion sickness and all of that stuff that Dre mentioned earlier. So I haven't really been using it. But when I was using it and I went into, I think it was a space pod or the loop pod, and then I think Wiz had created that meditation kind of like the decorations in the loop pod, and I was like, wow, maybe I can go and meditate. And then I started to have like horrific visions of potentially somebody hacking into my device and then something popping out of nowhere and horrifying me. So I that is my fear when it comes to using a VR headset. What are you guys? What do you guys
A
think?
meditation horror game would be crazy.
I don't know. I just think it's good to analyze all the risks. Risk assessment is necessary at all times. What do you guys think will be like a potential negative impact?
I think the potentials are endless either way. Um, the light balances the dark balances the light. It just depends on whose hands these tools are in. I honestly try not to think about that because I'm a firm believer in you construct your reality with your thoughts and your words. So if I'm thinking, oh shit, here come Freddy Krueger coming around this corner while I'm sitting down here meditating, guess what? I'm gonna be on edge like Freddy Krueger's coming for me. So it just depends, man. Like this can go anywhere. It's unlocking the ability to do so much more, so it can go anywhere. I don't even want to go into the conversation of where it could go because
I mean, you'll
it can
become
be
digital
nasty.
crackhead, literally. Like asking
I mean,
for, damn, I need to interact, I need to multitask, I need to see multiple things at once.
that's truth for real. When I first put them on in the Apple Store and I got the demo, and it was only like 10 minutes. When I took them off, reality and that specific moment seemed so different to me. I was like, yo, this is great. Like just regular reality with the glasses off. I was like, yo, this is crazy because it gives you that understanding, like you are going somewhere else with this, and you are tapping into something else with this. So it just puts you more in the moment of keeping things surreal for that specific moment. So yeah, you can turn into that, man. You know, like anything else, everything else can be addicting depending on the amount of dopamine hits that you get or lack thereof.
See, I've been entrepreneurial since elementary school, right? I've never actually had a job where I have to like go in and sit down and do one thing forever. And so for me, I can see how I would use the excuse of, all right, I'm gonna get this business done while being on a hike with my kids. But then my kids, they'll only notice me that I'm doing business instead of that I'm on a hike with my kids, right? And so that's where it's gonna be, people are gonna have to get a lot better at prioritizing whatever they're doing when they're doing it, or obviously not, which we're all getting even more. I mean, I was born all this ADHD, ADD, all this, all these little superpowers, but a lot of other people are just starting to have it and they don't know how to deal with it. And so people are not able to prioritize things anymore. They get sucked into that scroll and man, they can't get out of it. I mean, me included, but I think that's where it's going to be very interesting to see some people use this. And it's just another tool that is going to help them crush it. And other people, it's going to just like in anything, right, Dre? Like anything, we can use it for good or for evil. We can use it to move forward or move backwards. And so it'll be a vice for a little while for some, and they'll be able to turn it around. And for others, it's just gonna suck them into a deeper hole.
Put down the goggles at date night, guys. Don't be wearing these things when you take your significant other out for a fancy date. I definitely I'm all for it. Wearing it when you need to be, but boundaries, people, boundaries.
You're telling me this isn't Rihanna in front of me right now?
Aw, I wish. Rihanna.
I'm about to say, like, date night can get super spicy if you really want to,
Oh, all
Um,
right, all right, all right. Sorry, Dre. I'm just imagining your kid as Michael Myers standing behind you.
Yo, he ready. He ready for that too.
Can I just say, scary movies in designed for Apple VR? That'll be the most terrifying scary movie possible. Like, you won't be trapped in that and never want to wear that thing again or something.
People are gonna be running straight into walls, man, trying to get away and not thinking about it.
Yeah. Good luck. That's not for me.
Well, Dre, there's an app for you right there. If you don't stay active, a little Michael Myers comes running at you.
Man, I got a little Michael Myers running at me every day, all day, anyway.
Oh, I love him so much. All right, guys. I think this is the time. It's been an amazing conversation. Thank you for your contributions. I wish Yarden was here as well, because I know that man Spicy. He's got all the info about what Apple's been up to and whatnot. But anyway, I think we had a decent. Cass, you all right there?
Oh, sorry. No.
Yeah. So anyway, Anya, Dre's day after, we had Sophie, we had Mika, we had just your babe, just somebody. Cass, any final words?
Don't let the AI take your job. You got this. You're better than it. Have a good weekend.
Have a good weekend, guys. Bye.
Thanks for letting me up. Bye.
Bye.
Everybody has to say bye. Come on, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Adios.
It's the day after.
Bye bye.
It's the day after.
Bye.
It's the day after.